Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to 5 Minute Gaming News, the show that is here on this beautiful Tuesday. It's a thing. Real quickly, to start us off at the top here, some follow-ups to previous stories we've covered yesterday, today. My timeline on social media has been all Street Fighter 6, and not in a good way. Turns out the logo for the game revealed in the teaser might actually be a slightly modified $80 stock art image. And yes, compared to past Street Fighter logos, which are amazing, this one does in fact seem lame in comparison. But I have to believe this is a temp logo, right? It wouldn't be the first time a company's made a temp logo like this. If anything, all signs point to the fact that it was probably a rushed trailer with a Rush logo because somewhere in the corporate side of things, someone said we need something by this day, make it happen. Maybe, I guess we'll find out when we finally see footage of the game and if any of that translates over to that as well. I don't know, but fingers crossed. Also, in another quick follow-up a few weeks back, we got information on the PlayStation VR 2. A website was released, but on it there was no sign of the headset until now, boasting lens adjustment, slimmer design, lighter weight, and a built-in motor for headset feedback. We'll definitely find out more information as time goes on and people get their hands on it, but I'm pretty excited. VR is great, and more importantly, just a few steps away from a holodeck, and I'm here for holodecks. In other news, Square Enix has a not Final Fantasy problem. First off, speaking of Final Fantasy, if you didn't get a chance to watch myself and JP react to the Final Fantasy XIV live stream, the live letter that happened on Friday, a lot of cool stuff is happening. They've got a whole plan for the next 10 years. They're redoing early game stuff. They're making it more RPG-like, and more importantly, no NFTs. But everything outside of Final Fantasy, well, that is a different story. In their latest financial results meeting, Square Enix once again continued the now meme-worthy phrase, despite strong reviews, the game undershot our initial expectations. This time, the game being Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. And this has, almost comically so, been the ongoing theme of Square Enix's Western arm. As last year's Avengers undershot initial expectations, as well as games in the past like Just Cause, Tomb Raider, and Deus Ex. And they killed my boy Adam Jensen for Marvel. The crazy thing is, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, for example, sold 4 million copies. 4 million! Final Fantasy VI, what I consider to be the best video game ever made, sold 3.5 million copies between 1994 and 2003. It keeps happening. It's not a sales problem. It's an expectations problem. And I understand when Square Enix has a hit, it is a hit. But not all games are the Final Fantasy VII Remake selling 3.5 million copies in 3 days. Not all games are Final Fantasy XIV, where they literally have to stop selling the game because it's so popular. It seems to me the biggest issue is the ever-inflating amount of money being paid to make games these days. $70 to $80 million games are becoming commonplace for AAA publishers. And if you're assuming you're just gonna make all that money back, and if you don't, it undershoots your expectations or is a failure, that's a you problem. In other gaming news that doesn't involve me still being upset about no Deus Ex 3, if you weren't aware, Amazon's making a Fallout TV show, and it's begun casting, and its newest cast member is a longtime favorite character actor of mine, Walton Goggins. I cannot stress how much I love this man's acting. I've been following him since back in the S.H.I.E.L.D. days, and he is a great villain every time, and he's just, all of his characters are wild, and I'm excited for this. I'm very excited for this. Now I don't know anything about the show. It may, in fact, not be very good, but I do know that if Walton Goggins is in it, they've got me for at least one episode. Anyway, that's it. Thank you so much for all the likes and the support and the comments and the subscriptions and the thumbs up and the bells and all the things YouTube does. It means the world to me. Also, thank you to everyone over at patreon.com/Jesse Cox for your support. You are killing it. It's because of you that stuff like this can happen. Biggest of thank yous to Mariah Evans, Ryan Detweiler, and Natasha Larson. Thank you so much. That's it for me for today, but I'll be back tomorrow with another episode of 5 Minute Gaming News.